So, Only Murders in the Building is in its fifth season, I think. And let me tell you, there have been a lot of murders in that building. It's almost like a gag or something. As you might know, dear viewer, I am a dedicated fan of the show, but the quality of recent seasons, I think, has been a little hit or miss, honestly. I didn't love the fourth season as much as I did the third season, with Paul Rudd and the introduction of Meryl Streep's character. I just think that was a very good fun season, and I actually enjoyed that one better than the second season. Uh, but frankly, if we're being totally honest, Only Murders in the Building at its worst is still better than the vast majority of comedies and mysteries out there today. You have so many options, and yet none of them really compare to Only Murders in the Building. This season is no different. For the past few episodes now, it's been just all right. I think it's been pretty good, humorless and fairly harmless, shall we say. There's they're not doing anything particularly new or different with the material, which is kind of a first for them. They're not really changing anything up so much. We just have more secrets of the Arconia, more wacky tenants in the building, and it's all, as I said, fine, very good. The show is truly at its best, I think, when Martin Short and Steve Martin are just allowed to kind of talk and keep talking. I mean, they're good enough that you could probably watch them paint a room and it would be ridiculously entertaining. And again, Selena Gomez remains surprisingly competent in her role as Mabel, right? She's able to call upon acting talents I didn't really expect her to have. Um, and she still manages to surprise you. So all three of them are excellent as always, and it is just very fun to see them having another mystery to solve. This time they're investigating the mob, or what they thought was the mob. Spoilers ahead, of course, for season 5 up to episode 5, I think, the most recent episode out. And all right, okay. So I think it might have been a misstep to sort of drop the mob so soon. I think it's a very interesting element to deal with, and I do get it. It's not totally realistic in this modern world. But I do love a good mob story, and frankly, the mysterious billionaires, and the underground casino, right? It's just not that compelling to me, honestly. Uh, like, don't get me wrong, the three billionaires are a good foil for like the three what are they, upper middle class investigators. But it does seem like, despite being very capable actors, the only one of the three antagonists putting in any work into their character is the great Christoph Waltz, who takes his bizarre role very seriously. This guy with the running gag of him being very old but well preserved, right? So no one really knows his how old he is. He could be immortal for all they know, and that's a fun gag, right? And he has this great verbal sparring match with Charles Hayden Savage, which makes for a very it makes up for an otherwise kind of disappointing episode, in my opinion. It makes it well worth it. I do know better now than to make any guesses as to what is actually going on, and who did the murder, for instance. There's just, like, with the severed finger and the deaths of the actually really interesting character of Lester, and also his, like, the bully, the kind of failed mobster guy. Unfortunately, I know now that Only Murders in the Building has a formula, and they are likely withholding important information from us until the last minute. So while it's not impossible to guess the killer, I'm not going to try because I know they're going to pull some classic Agatha Christie style reveal at the end, which is fine. It's totally fine. I mean, that's their thing, and it's a gimmick that works, if nothing else. Although I typically prefer mysteries where you can maybe solve them in advance, or at least where the information is all there that you can solve them right from the get go. That's more fun to me, but then again, this show isn't just a mystery, it's also a comedy, and so it's allowed to be wacky and humorous. Um, oh well. I will say, I think they are probably building up to something with the mayor. Either he's going to be implicated in the murders, or he's going to be involved in some other way. But I mean, he's made a few appearances so far, and obviously they're going to do more with the actor while they have him. Um, I mean, he's fairly popular. I do believe so. They're probably going to want to keep using him while he's around. Um, and yeah, overall, I do think this season might be getting back on track. The most recent episode was very Steve Martin heavy, and that it was very good as a result. Steve was really able to be himself in a way, to really bring out that very classic Steve Martin humor, the fun gags and the bits, and it shows. And I hope that Martin Short will also get some more screen time, maybe a chance to shine more fully. Um, I I really do think that this most recent episode was much better than the previous ones, and I think that's a good sign. Um, if there's one major complaint that I have, aside from just the general formulaic nature of it all, me not really even being invested in the mystery, right? I'm just invested in the characters because I know the mystery is going to solve itself at this point. I just don't think the trio is I just don't think they are dumb enough to have signed a contract that interferes with their investigation. I mean, Charles and Oliver have been in show business for a really long time, and probably enough to catch a whiff of brimstone here and there. Whereas Mabel, she's jaded enough to sniff it out besides. And they've already been through this basically with Teddy Demas, right? And let me tell you, I will say this: I am still holding out hope that maybe Teddy will make a return, because he's just a good character, and his son Theo as well. They were both excellent characters in the first season and the best villains of the show. Though our dear Jan is probably a close second because she was a regular Hannibal Lecter, if you will. Uh, perhaps it should be noted that all three of those characters were first season characters, so maybe there is something there to that. Um, but yeah, I guess I'm cautiously optimistic about the remainder of season 5. Um, I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow. Jeez, I it is tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, tomorrow will be the new episode. So yeah, we'll see what happens then. Um, for now, like and subscribe. I've been Connor Landon Freeman, author, game designer, general nerdy chap who reviews all sorts of different things: books, movies, TV shows. I just like to talk, and I kind of like to hear my own voice. So, yeah, like and subscribe for more of that. Until then, bye.